Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on your time zone, and welcome to Moral Compass 101. It is my humble prayer that you had a good week, the first week of March, and I also hope and pray that the second week of March that starts today will be more better and greater than the previous week. My week has been okay, and I've continued to wallow in the opulence of God's grace and mercies. I'll also take this opportunity and wish all the ladies out there a happy International Women's Day as they commemorate their day. In our last topic, I reviewed 3 steps of faith acquisition, where I said that your knowledge and understanding about God are the essence of effusing your faith. I will now invite you to subscribe to Moral Compass 101, please, so that we can continue to garner more knowledge. And we shall talk more about knowledge today. And like and share this video to spread that knowledge. And also comment so that we can interact collectively in this platform. As we continue to grow the platform, it's my hope and prayer that them that have not subscribed will please do so. And I also find the need of sharing my videos. Having done the recap, I want to bring it to your attention that today marks the 115 years since the inception of Women's Day and 51 years since the commemoration of the first International Women's Day. A quick history of how it all began. The year was 1917, March the 8th, when a Russian women textile workers went out on an uprising whose slogan was bread, rad, and peace. All this was due to the aftermath, the immense aftermath of First World War. And the uprising led to the 1918 Russian Revolution that saw the fall of Tsar Nicholas II monarch empire. Tsar Nicholas II was the last monarch, and the Russian Revolution of 1918 brought down his monarch. Fast forward 58 years later, in 1975, the International Women's Day was formally recognized and adopted by the United Nations Charter, and here we are today, standing with ladies as they commemorate their day 51 years later. Spurred by the universal female suffrage, today, International Women's Day goes beyond voting advocacy to focusing on reproductive rights and maternal care, girl child empowerment, and violence plus abuse against women. You know, that is what has been happening since 1975, and it was fueled up during the 1995 International Women Conference in Beijing, China. In line with that cause, this year's International Women's Day theme is Give to Gain, where they are advocating for 3 things to be given. The first thing is time, the second thing is knowledge, and the third thing is resources. The theme, Give to Gain, in a biblical context is rules to gain. Rules to gain. Either way, it's an oxymoron or a paradoxical nature. It's a contradictory or an oxymoron, which is paradoxical in nature. You know, how can you give and then gain? But in the broader picture, and a good example is when you go to the gym. You know, your aim is to lose your pounds or your kilos and to gain good health. So it's a matter of losing to gain. And that's the theme. The same theme that women have adopted this year, giving to gain. So giving time, knowledge, and resources. In a broader picture, you'll gain empowered girls, you'll gain peace, you'll gain tranquility, and the like, and a free society of moral integrity. Either way, we say this is a paradox in nature that denotes sacrificial archetype. You know, there is sacrifice that comes in giving to gain. In the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter number 16 and verses 24, Jesus calls his disciples and tells them, anyone who is willing to follow me must first deny themselves and carry the cross. That part of denying yourself is sacrificing yourself, self-sacrifice. And the part of carrying the cross is something that's heavy, you know. So that's the part of bearing the pain or the burden of your sacrifice. So two things must happen. You must deny yourself, or you must sacrifice, and you must bear the pain or the burden of your sacrifice. That's why a while back I wrote a quote that reads, if you are not willing to bear the pain of sacrifice, you must be ready to bear the pain of failure. If you are not ready to bear, or you are not willing to bear the pain of sacrifice, you must be ready to bear the pain of failure. In an American context, the Americans say that no pain, no gain. So these two things goes hand in hand. So giving to gain being an intentional act of charity with a multiplication ripple effect should be advocated as a corrective social responsibility for the purposes of generational transformative agenda. You know, here I'm calling everyone to embrace, you know, that part of giving in order to gain. Because if it becomes a collective, you know, responsibility that I have the burden and you have the burden as well, you know, to touch a life, to give, you know, your time, to donate your time, to donate your resources, to donate your knowledge, then we shall have a world that is peaceful, that have sufficiency in it. Unfortunately, this call does not hold water to many of us, just but the chosen few. Unfortunately, you cannot give what you don't have. While you may not have knowledge or resources to give, you can donate your time to the entities that advocate for women empowerment. I'm talking about women empowerment because today is their day. And times without number, I say, if you don't have the knowledge to give, if you don't have, you know, the resources to give, donate your time. You know, a good example is if you don't have church offering or tithe, you know, because you don't have a job, you know, frontier your time and go, you know, clean the church or do something else, you know, because time is a free asset that's applicable to every human being. Yes, I understand that there is no time to do anything, but there is time to do everything. That's one of my quotes, that there might be no time to do anything, but there is time to do everything. Another contradiction, but as much as it's uh, uh, an oxymoron, this is what I mean, that you create time. Yes, you are busy, you have 24 hours, you have errands to run, bills to pay, a job to attend, children to take care of, but after your all quotidian uh, uh, effects, or your quotidian, run-ups, it's intentional to create time. It's possible to create time to do something, because if you wait for some time to just be there for you to do something, for you to touch a life, for you to uh, you know make an influence, for you to make an impact, then there'll be no time, because we have very busy schedules, day in and day out. But you must be intentional in creating some time. And women today are calling us to donate our time to their cause. The second thing they are calling us to donate is our knowledge. If God has blessed you with knowledge, please share it with others. That's one way that you can gradually change the world. Prophet Isaiah in chapter 4, verses 6 says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. So, if you have knowledge, donate it to people. Personally, I have decided to make this channel a donation of my knowledge and my other social media platforms as well. Don't be mean with your knowledge, please. The world needs it. That's why, times without number, I implore you to share my videos with other people, so that we can continue garnering this knowledge collectively. The third and the final resource, the final thing that women are calling us to donate today, or to give today, is resources. While we can all agree that both time and knowledge are intangible resources, this year's International Women's Day theme is calling us to give out tangible resources as well. Yes, time and knowledge are intangible resources. We cannot, doubt about that. But we are also being called to give tangible resources to different groups and organizations that empower women. As a founder of YES, Youth Empowerment Strategy Foundation, I can totally relate, or I can confidently attest how expensive it is to run a non-profit organization. So, if you are blessed with resources, please donate to different, entities that do, touch lives out there. Where you will give your time, knowledge, or resources, please be fast that he who gives to the poor lends to God, and God will in return pay your deeds. That's Proverbs 19:17. That if you lend to the poor, you are lending to God, and it's not in vain. And also, in the bigger picture, I said, you are transforming the world indirect by giving out your knowledge, by giving out your time, and by giving out your resources, because lives will be changed, morality will be elevated, and the like. In closing, my interpretation of a woman as an acronym is a wonderful offspring of motherly authority in nature. W, wonderful. O, offspring. M, motherly. A, authority. And N, nature. A wonderful offspring of motherly authority in nature. Here, I'm not talking about feminists who hitherto have been waging a competitive gender war for superiority. I'm referring to a noble, ideal, virtuous woman of substance and morally on moral integrity. Woman, a woman who fears the Lord. And what does the wisdom is say in Proverbs 31:30? Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Allow me to repeat what I said in our last topic, please. The inception of wisdom is the fear of the Lord, since it contrasts faith and faithfulness in Him and faith in yourself. So, as much as we want to transform lives, the aspect of God being in the center of this through the fear of His name is paramount. And I cannot overemphasize this aspect, because all starts with wisdom, and that wisdom is gotten from the fear of God. So, a woman of substance who will touch lives, who will donate time, who will donate resources, who will donate knowledge, is a woman who fears the Lord. While it's indisputable that there are women out there who are enemies of their own, like the two Hellcats who were exposed by BBC Africa, that was last year around August, for their scandalous exploitation of underage girls through sex trade, as they continued to enrich themselves through the proceeds of this heinous crime against humanity. The praise of a noble woman stems from her virtuous actions like caring, compassion, nurturing, good work ethics, and being charitable. Many are the times that we have heard that a woman is her own enemy, and there are a number of examples globally that supports that argument. Nonetheless, a woman of noble character stems from her virtuous actions like caring, compassion, nurturing, good work ethics, and being charitable. And that's why I interpreted the word woman as a wonderful offspring of motherly authority in nature. As you ladies commemorate your 51st International Women's Day, please be informed that you have a moral responsibility to positively impact a life for greatness. However, this responsibility will not only be an uphill task, it will be impossible to actualize without your allegiance to God. A woman's devotion to God is her highest honor and virtue that surpasses transient external trails. I'll repeat that statement. A woman's devotion to God is her highest honor and virtue that surpasses transient external or temporary external trails. Until next time, please be safe and make it your responsibility to donate your time, to donate your knowledge, and to donate your resources to different causes that empower women. Until next time, blessings and shalom.